Here we go.
So, I know I said we're going to Moscow.
Yeah.
You guys ever heard of Chernobyl?
Yeah.
That's where the nuclear disaster happened.
Yes. Have you heard of extreme tourism?
You're incredible.
Who's coming with Paul to Chernobyl?
I'm gonna get right into it. I ain't gonna let this movie waste any more of my time than it already did. Fuck this movie, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, what?
You have to go through and disseminate and break it down, explain to the audience.
Hey, man, you weren't at that movie, were you?
Yeah, you shut up over there.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear about what it was like and what it was about. I don't want to just hear a fucking, because as you go through it, as you shift through the ashes of Chernobyl, you might discover that
You trying to piss me off more than this movie already did? Are you fucking with me more than this movie did?
I'll tell you, I thought it was great.
Okay, good.
No, I totally did. Corey was right. Shut the fuck up.
Damn, sitting at home all smug up there in your chair. I'm busy. I can't make it, y'all. But can I come record with y'all?
You don't know what it was like. You weren't there.
Yeah. Shit, I'm mad. I know you didn't do nothing, but I'm mad looking at you right now.
You didn't experience our Chernobyl, all right?
Yeah, shit.
You know what? You probably would have actually shown up if it had the appropriate title called The White Dumb People Chronicles.
This was my Vietnam, and I was in Vietnam.
Damn, boy, let me tell you something. You want to know about this movie? Let me tell you something. First of all, maybe if I had got home 10, 15 minutes earlier, I'd be a little kinder, but we just happened to catch traffic.
Yeah.
And slow moving traffic.
Yeah, it sounds like there's construction going on the freeway, so it's bad after 9 o'clock anyway.
It is. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm mad that I was stuck in traffic and at
give
9
you more
o'clock
time
at night.
to think about, to relive the experience.
But I'm sitting up there thinking about that shit because I walked out and we were just like, man, that was stupid. Like, yeah, but as I'm driving, I'm just.
Was that me?
No, that was me. No, I was, because that was my.
I sound like you, sir.
I was totally me because we walking out. You telling me all the things that were bad with them. Like, yeah, it's stupid, man, whatever. And as I was sitting in the car, I'm just fuming, thinking about just how much of a ripoff this movie is. I'll explain it to you. First of all, people, let's make a disclaimer here. Because I know people are going to say, oh, you just being racist. If I had said that about black people, you would say I was racist. No, there is a category of movie, and white people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's that category of
We know.
dumb white people doing dumb white things. Anytime you just come out the blue and say, let's go to one of the most radiated places on earth just for fun. Let's just, hey, guy just runs into the cafeteria. Hey, guys. Let's go to Chernobyl. Yeah. And then everybody's like, okay. It's like, you dumb.
This Russian dude who's like says it's totally cool. He's gonna drive us out there in his van. Are you guys in? Yeah, let's do this.
It's like, yeah, that's exactly where we want to go. Yeah, the radiation levels are they're still existing, right? They're still there. Oh yeah, but don't worry, I have Geiger counter. So in America, you have Disneyland. Here we have Chernobyl. What a country. Then later on, you get a comedy act by Yakov Smirnoff. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think he might have been one of the mutants in that.
Why would you want to go to a place where they tell you, because they ask the question, they say, man, isn't the radiation level here really high? Couldn't that poison us? Only if we stick around for a couple of hours.
We will not be there all day.
Are you serious? That's what they say?
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Oh, we just hang around here for a couple hours. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
What do the white people say? Okay.
Certainly. I mean, and the thing is, like, it's not only that, but you have Nikolai Volkov telling you all this, where he's like, "Don't worry, we're not gonna be here all day. You'll be okay. The radiation will not hurt you, pussy."
Who would want to risk that?
Well, that's the thing. It actually was filmed in one of the abandoned cities because of Chernobyl. I mean, it's not right in the, like as close as it looks.
Not at ground
and that's
zero.
CG. Yeah, they're like, hey, look, there are the silos. They're right there. You're like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. You
Then the
know,
white person who was on that camera, dumb. You know,
I know, maybe that white person was going, "Oh man, it's just like The Simpsons," you know.
and that's just the beginning of how stupid these people are. I mean, this is the movie that would make it where it would be okay with everyone for there to be a Caucasian Anti-Defamation League. That would be the turning. But people are like, all right, I guess you can have it.
So
now.
would you say that this is the white soul plane?
It almost is. They're stupid beyond belief.
Yeah.
Every single word they utter is just like, well, I mean, they're as irritating as the characters in the Blair Witch Project. Let's make no
Wow.
mistake. They're
Okay.
constantly snipping at each other. They're a bunch of assholes. There's no reason to like any of them except for the one blonde chick who's got amazing tits.
Okay.
I'll hand her that. But she also spends the entire movie arching her back. Like,
Well, that sounds
she's
good.
just there for the audition. She didn't know they're actually filming.
Yeah, the only person that's even kind of recognizable in this movie, the biggest name is Jesse McCartney.
Yeah.
Wow.
And outside,
I don't
of
even
that-
know who that is.
Yeah, well, I think he was
Supposed to be making out with the who's making out with the blonde girl the whole time, and you're like, yeah, right.
yeah,
I think if you're above the age of 14, you probably don't know who Jesse McCartney
let's just
is.
say he's really pissed about Justin Bieber. He was supposed to be the next Justin Bieber.
Oh, he was
Now
he was the guy with that fucking baby face. He looked like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
yeah, which one? So
Yeah,
what-
there's
what-
so many of them, but he was one of those at one time.
Yeah.
okay.
So what do we do? Justin Bieber came first and beat this guy to it, and we send this kid to Chernobyl. So, you know.
I gotta find some way to get rid of this kid. We're tired of him bitching all the time.
Yeah, but it's so that but you have a group of 6 people. It starts out with actually 4. This Jesse McCartney plays this guy who he's traveling around Europe with his fine ass blonde girlfriend. Finally goes to meet his brother, and they have an extra girl with him, by the way. And his brother, the
friend who's got out of a relationship.
the hot friend they bring along. And they set it up right then and there where, they do that thing where they tell you all the exposition. Hey, my little bro is here in this foreign fucking country with me. But Jesse McCartney tells him like, man, just don't get us into some fucked up situation like you always do. Literally know that 24 hours later he's going to come in and say, hey, got this idea to go to Chernobyl. But that's what happens. They hear about this thing. I don't know if this is true or not. Extreme touring where apparently dumb white people go and tour one of the dumbest places that they could ever go to.
Oh, no, it's not extreme touring. It's called Darwinism.
Yeah.
What exactly happened in Chernobyl?
The Chernobyl disaster was the result of failed systems tests. It caused sudden power surge, and reactor number 4 became one with the air.
One with the air?
Vaporized, exploded.
Природа заняла свое законное место.
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Nature has reclaimed its rightful home.
Well, so they get there, the 4 of them. And as they're talking to this Russian guy who's saying, "Oh, don't worry about it. I do this thing all the time. I was ex special forces. Yeah, apparently being an ex special forces in Russia that helps you fight radiation too. Because he's just like, hey, let me. Because he's up there posing with a gun and shit. It's like, yeah.
I was wondering what kind of special forces were you? Were you the special forces that were eating everything inside? The guy had a big ass beer gun, and I'm like, I don't feel so safe with you here.
Yeah, so they're joined by 2 other dumb white people come in. One guy's Australian. Hello, mate. I'm the next dumb white guy, and he's followed by this other dumb
Oh my
white girl.
God. Every time there's some kind of movie like this where people are on some kind of expedition, some Australians come in out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that's become a cliche now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, apparently. So
To be fair, if anyone had said yes to this sort of thing, it would have been some Australians. You know that.
now you get some Crocodile Dundee like guy out
I mean,
there.
they live
used
on
to
the
it.
danger continent.
Yeah, they live on a continent that has the most dangerous animals.
I mean, look
that
at it.
haven't-
Where
haven't
was
died
the-
off
They
yet.
live on Monster Island.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, well, the Australian guy, give it to him. Where was Mel Gibson in The Road Warrior? He's out in the radiated wasteland,
Well, there
Wait,
was
used to
nowhere
this.
else to be fair.
Yeah,
That was all there was.
apparently Australia is,
Yeah.
some sort of nuclear wasteland.
I was just waiting for that guy to tell the whole group, you want to get out of here? You talk to me. And I was like, all right, there's our hero. There's the guy we want to root for because, everyone in this movie sucks.
Yeah.
You fucking hate them. They
But
annoy the
whiny
shit out of
But
you.
that's the thing. They go there and they tell him like, all right, so this guy says, hey, let's go ahead and get there and everything will be fine. We'll be there for 2 hours. You can take some pictures. It'll be real cool. Tell your friends you had an adventure. They get there and there's guards that tell them, you can't go in. And to me, that's when these guys really turn to assholes. Cause to me, that's when it says, you don't go any further. You don't go in. But there's this Jude Law looking asshole who's sitting up there and he immediately gets he cocks an attitude. He's like, thanks a lot, Yakov or whatever that guy's name is. Like, thanks a lot. We paid money for this tour instead of saying like, yeah, maybe we should go back and you can just give us our money back. Everything's he's like, no, you're going to take us in there. You're going to get us in there. And he's like, oh, don't worry. There's a back road we could go through. A back road that's 5 minutes away where there's no guards. They get in there. They start roaming around and they realize they're not alone while they're leaving the van out there, someone has come in and cut all the cords and wires. They can't go any further, so they're stuck there. And because they're stuck there, they're starting to be hunted down by something. People, would I be spoiling anything if you thought it was some Hills Have Eyes type shit?
I was going to say Hills Have Eyes meets a really terrible Blair Witch Project interpretation.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is. I mean, you know that it's mutants, but here's the insulting thing, and Cyrus, you said something real cool I'm going to let you get to because he was right. I mean, and it's what you said that kind of stuck with me.
What's that?
That made me mad.
I said lots of stuff.
Let me say what you said that really sums the movie up. You watch the previews on TV, or if you saw a trailer in the theater, you can see it's all handheld.
Yeah.
And so you're thinking, okay, it's another found footage thing, whatever. But Cyrus was saying, see, if you see the movie, it's not a found footage film. There's nobody behind that camera that's the character in the movie. It's shot, it is a movie. It's shot like it's a narrative that's scripted. However, they filmed the whole thing shaky cam.
Yeah, using found footage techniques. Like, oh, God, we're running, so now it's shaking. Oh, God, look, what's that over there? That kind of shit, right? Except nobody's got a camera.
I know, where you're like,
camera.
will you guys fucking pick a lane, please, again? You know?
Yeah, it's the ultimate cheap out. Like, okay, you forgive found footage when at least it finds a way to integrate that into the story.
Sure.
This is so callous that it's just like, fuck that. We only do
We ain't
found
spending money
footage
for a
films because
tripod.
we can make them for so cheap because we don't need all those things.
Yeah.
Right? And this is like the ultimate fuck you to an audience saying, we're not even going to integrate that.
When you
into the
watch
story.
it, I was like, this probably would have been more effective if you just would have just said fuck it and just done a found footage movie. Because I mean, when you look at it, I mean, it's like, wow, you guys spent a lot of fucking money to make this movie look like a found footage, where that would have been cheper to do.
I don't think they spent that much money,
that's
though.
the thing, is it doesn't cost anything. It is a guy running around with a really cheap camera, and that's it. Like, when you set up a setup film, they've got rails, little mini tracks they have to set up, and dollies, and all sorts of stuff. With this, it's like, you save lots of money. That's why there's so many found footage films, because they're super cheap to film.
Well, something I'm curious about, because up until you got to this, faux found footage part, it was sounding to me a lot like Darkest Hour. Like, how would you compare it to that?
Oh, it's about the same.
I mean, they're both terrible movies. But
Really, yeah.
Like, I'd say this is much worse. Like,
No. Darkest Hour was by far the worst.
Darkest Hour at least had a couple like conceptual things that were neat. With this, it's just
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there was so much stuff ripping off. Really, stuff that wasn't worth ripping off at all.
I didn't see Darkest Hour, but I tell you why I despise this film. Because I think this
Lay
film,
it out, Corey.
No, I think this film is totally ripping people off. I mean, if people see it and they want to be fooled by this bullshit, then fine with me. But this whole thing, I was patient with it too. I'm sitting up there saying this is normally where everybody starts to hate the movie, and I'm the guy like, oh, just give them some time. Hey man, set up, patience, just sit there. But this whole thing with this, as you say, faux found footage.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I can even deal with that, but there better be something cool because of the nature of this movie.
Gotta have a payoff.
They gotta have something really cool there. You gotta have mutants here. I know there's mutants here. Can't wait to see what the mutants look like. That could be kind of tense and scary and cool looking. They don't show you shit. Through this whole movie, they don't show you shit. They show you a brief blur of the back of the head of a creature. They even go as far, man, let me tell you some cheap shit they do. They even go as far as to put a little girl out there in the middle of this scene, and you're thinking, oh, I can't wait to see what this little girl looks like. It's frightening that you have a child that's a killer mutant. And so they're walking up to the little girl. They hear a noise in the background. The camera turns around. They're like, what was that? They turn back around. Little girl is gone. They don't show you shit. Well, my point is that while they're trying to save money by doing this found footage shit, they're saving money by not even showing you any creatures. And why are they doing that? Because they're thinking like they can get away. The guy who produced this, what's the guy's name?
Oren something.
Fuck me out of my money. What's his name?
The guy from Paranormal Activity.
They're thinking they can get away with those techniques in Paranormal Activity.
Oren Kelly.
Yeah, there you go. That saved them money.
Yeah.
That works for some of that old ghost shit that they're doing. But don't do that shit right here. You're supposed to show me monsters. Ghosts are invisible. I'll let that shit slide. But you got monsters. Show me the monster. That shit is cheap and inexcusable here.
They show you enough to where it looks like little baby walking tumors. But I mean,
well, you're like, in Russia, we don't die from cancer. We just turn into mutants.
But the worst thing about this is it's just another bad case of we've seen all this before, and the thing is, audiences are still going to pay money regardless. I don't understand why you sympathize with any audience member that come to see this bullshit, because they always get the same shit and they're always willing to go back and pay for more and more, and that's the thing. Like with a movie like this, for people like us who, we know better, we just know better. We're going to look at it. It's going to be some bullshit. But there are people in the theater that were freaking out, that were actually having a good time, just like they do with every goddamn Paranormal Activity movie that comes out. So, as far as the general public, I think they're going to get something out of it. As far as people like us who've seen these before and at this point they're a dime a dozen. No, it sucks because, there's nobody to root for. All this shit we've seen a time and time again. I don't know how many times I got to see the little fucking kid standing out in the middle of nowhere for someone to go, stop, look over there. Hey, little girl, what's going on? Ah! And really? How many times are you going to use that fucking gag? It's the stereotypical jump scares, and it's stereotypical shit like that you're just like, you know what? Man, you guys just looking for a quick buck. That's all this movie is.
The
It's
least
looking for a quick buck.
stereotypical stuff in here is stuff where the people are so stupid that even the worst other horror directors wouldn't have them make the decisions that they make in this. I mean, there's lots of stuff that's just like, they're all in the car and like, shit, I think there's definitely something outside of the car. What we can do? And the guy's like, well, shit, I'm going to go out there and take a look. Why? You said stay at the car till morning. It's too dangerous. Why are you going out there? There is no reason for you to leave the car. But because otherwise we have to see them just sit in the car till morning.
It's that haunted house syndrome where, it's all staged up for you already. So of course the character has to fucking say, no, we got to go in there because they could be hurt.
I'll be right back.
Exactly. Because you know what? That's part of the goddamn show. If they actually used their brains, there'd be no fucking movie.
Well, but it goes well past sensibility with that. There are those times in those movies you go, outside of us watching a horror movie where we go, of course they're not all right. Like, you go in a lot of those movies, you go, well, yeah, they could be. And if you were in that position and they were your friend, you probably would be like, oh, shit, okay, I guess we better go look. But in this movie, there's like 100 yards of blood and gore leading up to this dark underground tunnel. And they're like, fuck that, I'm not going in there. And the one dude who they don't even know the guy who they're looking for, they're like, but we should try to save him. And they all go, yeah, you're right. No, you're not right.
There's a lot of fucking blood here. He may have just stubbed his toe. You don't know.
He's dead.
Yeah.
B, fuck that guy.
In fact, I could tell there was a dumb person in the theater because he sounded dumb. But he said one of the smartest things out loud. He said, it might be the right thing to do, but it's not the smart thing to do. And he said it just like that. I turned around, some fat fuck who was dumb as hell. But I was like, wow, man, that's the most intelligent thing I've ever heard. And let me remind you something.
He sounded just like
Did you hear that guy?
I heard that.
See, man, now y'all making me want to see the movie.
No, you might want to see that guy, but you don't want to see this movie.
Yeah.
And let me remind you something. Let me just fill you in on something. The movie's directed by a guy named Bradley Parker. You ever heard of Bradley Parker?
No.
Neither have I, but I read about him. And you know what I read about him?
I'm scared to
I
ask.
tell you that he's a visual effects supervisor in a movie that has no visual effects.
Well, it did have a CG grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Was that bear CG?
That was definitely not a real bear.
that was a
CG bear. There's a
Actually-
funny scene where a grizzly bear comes out of nowhere and runs past them. They're like, it's like the first real scare of the
Are they in
movie.
Russia?
Yeah, they're in
Yeah.
Chernobyl.
Is he riding
Well,
a
it's
a brown bear.
I guess it's a Kodiak bear.
Yeah.
and
it's
having a tutu riding a unicycle.
and it's the only effective scene in the movie.
But if they
actually.
wanted to have a payoff in this film, it should have been like the last character is free, and then that grizzly bear goes, and mauls him. That would have been a payoff.
No, the ultimate payoff was if they actually said at the very end of the movie where they go, aha, this whole thing has been one elaborate setup. You got your money's worth, huh?
You're actually in Jersey.
This is it, yeah. April Fools.
How you like my performance? But they really do pass on things that they set up that you think are going to be cool.
Yeah.
Like that little girl. You never see that little girl again. You don't get to see what she looks like. There's a scene where they show you one big mutated fish. with big teeth and a big ugly face, and somebody, and they're like, "What is that? We don't know."
Somebody yell Baba Booey.
Hey, Baba Booey. Hey, both. But then everybody's like, "I don't know what that is, but let's leave it alone. Let's go back to the van." And somebody takes a piece of beef jerky and throws it into the middle of the river or the stream that these fish are in, and you see all these fish that are probably like this fish we see on shore with these huge teeth. So you say, oh, these are big carnivorous mutant fish. And if they're going after that one piece of jerky, woo, boy, that's going to be somebody's ass later on this movie. And they get to a scene where they finally look like they're going to like give you that payoff. And these people crossing this rickety ladder of a bridge, and one guy falls into the water and he's like, ah! And I'm like, yes, something. And no, somebody grabs him, pulls him out. He's got 2 little teeth marks on his legs. I'm like, that's fuck you.
I know. Where I'm like, maybe his leg's gonna start to mutate or something. Maybe he has like radiation poisoning now because of this. But
to be fair, he's gonna want to get some Bactine on that, probably stat
or some Robitussin.
If I was to excuse them on anything, is that, and this is a stretch right here of me trying to make an excuse for them, which I'm not. I'm just saying.
Why would you do that?
If they were trying to do anything by not showing you the mutants, because there is one cool thing that you see, looks like a little larvae of a mutant.
It looks like a basket case.
It does. Yeah, it's like crawling towards the camera, towards these people. And that's when you get a little hope and think, oh, I can't wait. Okay, they saved it at the end of the movie or near the end of the movie. That's cool. Just show me something now. Just give me my time's worth. And that's about it.
It's a flash, too.
Yeah, it is. And so you're thinking, man, maybe they were trying to do this thing where they're just leaving it to your imagination to fill in the blanks. I don't want to tell you too much, but with a movie like this where you have creatures and it really does need to rely on the payoff of seeing what they look like. It's almost criminal not to show people what that's like. It really makes the movie feel like, okay, we don't have that much money, so we're going to do what we did in Paranormal Activity, and people are going to buy it because we're using the same techniques.
Why did you make me waste all this time with these really stupid, unlikable characters to have absolutely no payoff of any kind? It's the Blair Witch cop-out, and it's not going to be the last movie to use it either. Like, oh, but it was atmospheric, wasn't it? Fuck you. Yeah. There's nothing there.
Well, it is atmospheric, but that they don't do anything with it.
Yeah, and we were saying afterwards, it would have made a great survival horror game if there was a good excuse, like put a bunch of soldiers in there, whatever. It's like, there's some people are holding a little girl hostage and they've holed up in Chernobyl. Okay, great. So we send in the SWAT team only to find out there's mutants and fucking mutated dogs and fish and Kodiak bears and shit. Yeah, that'd be a fun.
That sounds like a lot of money, Cyrus.
Yeah, ain't gonna spend it on this movie.
But as a movie, nah, this is just terrible.
Well, the thing is, the one thing I will say about it is, yes, it has a lot of atmosphere. That was the one thing. It's one of those sad things where you're watching a movie and you're like, wow, I wish whoever worked on this could work on like the next Silent Hill movie or something, because they got the atmosphere down. But then again, it made me think, wow, why in the fuck did you guys want to come here to begin with? A lot of these fucking empty buildings of nothing, just the only thing you're going to get after this experience is a fucking need for a tetanus shot. Yeah. But it's like, I don't understand this situation still. It just pounds you in your head the entire time you're watching the movie. Like, why did you guys, what was so exciting about doing this in the first fucking place, you know? And that's where the whole movie is just ruined. The premise from the very beginning is so stupid that you cannot enjoy the rest of the movie because you're still so busy, like locked in on why that
really? Because I tried to let it go.
Experience. I couldn't because after the bear, you'd be like, you know what? Let's get the fuck out of here like now. Oh, the van can't start. You know what? We're not that far away from where we came. It's not like we drove miles to get here. Let's fucking just start walking. And no, it's ridiculous.
I'll say one more thing about these characters, and I'll let us all wrap it up. They all go through their period of being annoying. Yeah. The same pattern. It's so bad that these characters can't even be fleshed out. They gotta repeat the same cycle with each one. Each one of them loses somebody special to them in the movie. So they go through the whole thing of, like, they take turns. Here's the character. You want to know what the characters are in this movie?
Sure.
You got one character to bitch, moan, cry, yell, and be stupid. You got another character who dies that character previously is bitching and moaning about. And then you got the third character who's there to tell them, shh, just calm down, man. We got to go. We got to get out of here. They all get that role to play. Each one of them, like they all go through the same cycle. Where is he? He's gone. My brother. Calm down, man. Come on. Let's go. Hey, oh, wait a minute. My friend's gone. Come on, man. Let's go.
Seriously, if I was in that situation with you guys and it was like you were just going, Leon, I would have killed you. I'm serious, dude. There's at that point, they know shit is hunting them. There's wild dogs everywhere trying to kill him. And he's just screeching to the top of his lungs out for his brother. Chris! I'm like, fuck this guy. He's going to get us all killed.
You know what character I'd be? I'd be the character at home playing my Batman video game. Going, man, I hope those guys are having a great time in Russia.
Yeah, true. I would have tried to save y'all. You know why? Because I wouldn't have been there in the first goddamn place.
Hey, man, don't look at me. I may be white, but I'm not stupid enough to go to Chernobyl.
Okay? I wish one of y'all would ask me to go to Chernobyl. I'll fucking slap the hell out of y'all, man. Wish you would.
Now, let's be honest. Of the four of us, who's most likely to go to Chernobyl?
Okay, I admit that I'm the most likely, but that...
I'm talking about Corey.
No.
He's
If there was
going on these crazy adventures.
If there was one Spill fan who lived in there that just needed to fucking have a party,
True.
Your man right over there would be the first guy on that plane.
Going out in Croatia like twice.
Croatia.
Yeah, I was about to say Mr. Croatia over there.
I'm going to populated, non-radiated cities, all right? I'm going to population.
That's what these people were told.
No, they signed up for it.
Radiation ain't the only dangerous shit out there fucking up regions of the world.
Now, you went into the heart of human trafficking.
Yeah.
And you're just like, just that have fun.
No, the guy's got to have a side business. Come on.
Don't you guys like adventures?
Okay, I got to tell you something. If you brought me a brochure with a fine-looking ass girl on, I'd be like, hey, it's probably not so bad. Let's get the suits, the radiation suits and go, man. This would be cool. I heard they got a live-ass club in there. But, man, you know what?
Next Spill meetup in Chernobyl.
Right? Hey, we got a theme.
I got some cheap lodgings for all of us. The thing is, the party's only 2 hours long.
Be sure to bring your Geiger counter.
I'm gonna go
And
last.
your
I want to hear what y'all got to say about this movie.
Well,
thank you.
Shit, you've heard pretty much. I think we're all on the same page on this one. This is like, I mean, the best thing you can say about this is that it's atmospheric by just the nature of where the location is that they actually filmed it. You're like, wow, that's pretty fucked up. You can't help but think about, wow, it's fucking Chernobyl. Shit, all these people used to live there, had to rush out of there in like 5 minutes. It's pretty creepy, but they don't do anything good with it. That's all. It's just the nature of what it is that makes it scary, but that's nowhere near enough. These are the most unlikable characters I've seen in a horror film. God damn, I can't even remember the last time I saw characters this unlikable, and I watch a lot of horror films. I mean, I'm sorry, I hated The Darkest Hour too, but those guys were practically like the Breakfast Club next to me.
I thought they were both equally stupid.
There's nothing worth recommending in this film at all, except for that one little scene with the bear. That's not enough. This is some old bullshit.
Oh, it's not a fuck you.
No, because I wasn't mad because I kept laughing. It kept getting worse and worse, and they kept being so stupid that I was like laughing. I think Corey was getting more and more mad, and I was just getting more and more like,
I love the way we've begun to negatively feed off each other. You getting mad? You're making me like it.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's so easy to sum up a movie like this because, I mean, when you look at it as a whole, it's just the same shit regurgitated over and over again. This is the worst fucking haunted house Russia has ever made, and and that's what it felt like. It's like a lot of cheap scares. And the thing is, a lot of times you probably don't want to see those fucking monsters because you're going to see the zipper in the back of the suit. It's fucking Russia.
They did look cheap, man. What little we saw, I mean, I saw the back of a mutant's head and it looked like rubber.
A lot of things can look really effective when you shine a flashlight to them for about 2 seconds and shine away, and it's usually that's a good thing.
shit, 2 seconds.
But
like a half a second.
Maybe they did shoot like a lot of close-ups and good shots of those monsters, and they would look at it and went like,
that's usually the case too.
And speed up.
But yeah, it's just characters you could just give two shits about. You're wanting for them. You're wanting them to die even before they're in Chernobyl. When they're out partying, fucking clubbing, you're like, wow, this is a fucking party group I don't want to be around. I want to punch them. I want to punch them all in the balls. Like there's a scene. The only tense moment that I was looking forward to was when they ran into some fucking Russian thugs that were just hanging out. They accidentally ran into them. No, the thugs noticed the women and wanted to take them. Like, yeah, take those bitches away from those those assholes now. And I wanted to see a fist fight. Yeah, but no, I didn't get that. So I had to wait a long time before anything really started to happen in this movie. And once it does, it's like, okay, I mean, I've seen this before and I don't give a fuck. So it's some old bullshit.
Okay, man, you had me in suspense for like the last 15 minutes when you talk. I'm like, some old bullshit or fuck you. Which is it gonna be?
It's some old bill. You know, I honestly, I've already seen worse. A movie you guys haven't seen yet that we're gonna review soon, but I've seen worse.
Wow.
Well, I haven't seen this worst movie. You made a good point, man. I played that game that you're talking about. I played this game called Rage, appropriately titled because that's what I got out of this movie. But the game's like it's not all that great, but it looks great. And it gave me everything I wanted. It gave me mutants, gave me animals that were all crazy looking, and a lot of those things in that game, I think they were modeled. Like what you talked about, where they went like a town nearby that was abandoned. I think they actually went to that town and used that to model some of the stuff, the abandoned city in this game that I played. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yeah, this is greatly wasted potential for something very atmospheric and creepy and scary. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about them saying fuck. Give this movie a fuck you. I don't always do this. I like to save it for those special moments, and I don't always like to do it proudly. Because that means that somebody made a product that wasted my time is potentially going to waste somebody else's time. But I proudly stand up and give this shit a fuck you. I'll give it fuck you not once, not two, but 3 times so I can get all 3 holes on this movie.
So basically, you're overruling their ratings and just gonna put fuck yous across the board.
They need to know.
Leon,
I gotta help them.
like this movie, it doesn't matter.
No. I mean, I ain't even got no way to end this. I mean, I'm done. Shit, I'm fuck this movie. Get the fuck out of my face.
Much like this
Wow, you're
movie,
ending
it
it,
just is over.
You're ending this review just like that movie.
God damn, Chernobyl. You want to see a meltdown? Come talk to me about a goddamn meltdown. Fuck this film. Go!
Was that an animal?
It was something else.
Come on.
Where are we going? Come on!
We need to find them. If we go back here,
I know it's not.
we probably can tell if we have to go back. No, we have to go.